For all my bettors and degenerates out there, it's very important to know one thing. Vegas never sleeps. You might take a day off, you might take a week off. Bad week, bad month, done betting forever. You know who never runs from the grind? Vegas. These guys are absolute gremlins. They do everything they can to screw us over. We can't let them win. So today we're going to talk about a little future bet. Rookie of the year, 2022-23. This is one of the hotter topics right now in the NBA, just because we're in the offseason, the dead period. There's always things to talk about, to project. I do think this lead up to the next season is absolutely fascinating just because look at all these great teams. There's so many teams that have 45, 50 win potential in the NBA. Because of that, looking at MVP odds, it's such a mess. I feel like there are at least 10 players that are capable of winning an MVP next year because there's so many teams that could make that jump to 50 plus wins. The amount of superstar talent in the NBA, regular season talent in the NBA is incredible. I think that looking at the Rookie of the Year is much easier to assess. We're looking at the FanDuel odds as of right now, July, whatever day it is, July 23rd. The most important criteria for this award is box score stats, specifically points per game. I think wins we actually saw last year be more of a priority with guys like Scottie Barnes and Evan Mobley, both of their teams at least making the play-in. Scottie Barnes eventually winning that award in large part due to the fact that he was a key contributor on a team that made the playoffs, a 5-seed team. It was clear how important he was to that team and winning, and that goes beyond stats. But I think this year is a little bit different. A lot of these guys might be playing for 20, 25 win teams. A lot of the times that just means they will be playing more minutes, more shots for them, and honestly, most of the time wins don't really matter in a Rookie of the Year race. Let's start with Paolo Banchero. First overall pick in the NBA draft. This guy at plus 330 currently the favorite to win Rookie of the Year next year. Once again, Orlando projects to be a lottery team. Paolo should be the number one guy at some point this year. I don't know if it's going to be right away. You look at how their team is constructed. Last season, it was Cole Anthony that led their team in shot attempts and points per game. He was only at 16 a game, and as it pertained to the top scorers on the team, there was pretty good balance between him, Franz Wagner, who should take a step this year in his second year. He was a very efficient and strong rookie year from him, so he's obviously going to be one of the main guys. Wendell Carter was another guy that was a main player for them. This is a team that has pretty good depth. They just don't have any star talent, really. I mean, they don't have a star on their team. Their biggest team need is a guy to build around. They have some pretty decent support players, pretty decent bench players that could play on other teams and be in rotations. It is the star talent area that they truly lack. Paolo Banchero absolutely addresses that if he's everything that a lot of people expect him to be. Personally, going back and watching some of his games, watching him in the summer league, a guy that's 6'10", 250 pounds, can move like a guard, play big inside, use his body in the post. He's got good footwork. He's got 3-level skills, can attack from the outside. His perimeter shooting may be a little bit of a question. For me, I would be absolutely shocked if he didn't average north of 15 points, 6 rebounds per game next year. In a lot of situations, he should be the main guy in their offense. Physical traits are good. Seems like he has a good head on his shoulders from what I could tell. Obviously, all of these guys will be tested by an 82-game season, a 6-month grind that they have never experienced or endured before. Guy like Paolo Banchero, I do know that he has had issues with cramps, like guy loses 7 pounds a game, which is pretty insane. I've never heard of this before from any NBA player. I don't know how much this is really going to impact him. I do think it is a very, very slight warning sign, just something to keep an eye on, just very strange. But in an 82-game season is obviously very different from a college season. We will see how he responds to that, but it's just like a small concern. I'm sure the Magic are doing everything they can to address that, and hopefully that's not an issue for him going forward. Paolo has a very good chance to lead this team in scoring. He should get his shots. Rebounds should not be a problem either. If the Magic do feature him as their main guy, which they should, as long as he is up to the task, he should be the Rookie of the Year. That being said, I do feel like this is really a two-man race. I believe Chet Holmgren to be the most intriguing prospect in this draft. I don't think a lot of people would disagree with that. 7'3", dude is built like a pencil. Talked about this before, but ball handling skill, shot blocking ability, good feel for the game, it seems. We will see his limitations often. OKC, even though they add him to the roster, even though they have a great talent in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, this team will be a lottery team once again. There's no reason not to believe that. However, Chet Holmgren, there is nobody, and I mean nobody, taking his minutes next year. He is the starting center for the Oklahoma City Thunder. If he has struggles, he will play a lot still. There is no one that is going to take his minutes. I don't know much about an injury history from him. That being said, you just look at the guy. You look at players who are really, really, really tall in the NBA and how they have fared throughout their career as it pertains to injuries. An 82-game season is hard on the body for everybody. I feel like in the NBA, we're just seeing more and more injuries year by year. Everybody's getting hurt, especially certain players with certain traits that play in a certain way. This guy, he's going to have to bang in the paint. He's going to be protecting the rim. He's going to have the greatest athletes of the world flying at him all game. Help defense is going to be a huge thing, and he will get blocks. 2 blocks per game for Chet Holmgren in his rookie year is in play. Absolutely, no question about it. But he's going to be a target. Zion Williamson sees this guy under the rim, and it's time to eat, seriously. And he will benefit some of the time from that. He has to put on some weight, but I am a little concerned. If I'm betting on Chet Holmgren to win Rookie of the Year, can he play more than 60 games? He will be getting rebounds. He will be getting blocks. He will be benefiting from playing in the pick and roll, pick and pop game, receiving passes from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey, and the defensive attention that is drawn by those guys, especially SGA, will benefit him tremendously. I think as far as a fit is concerned, that is a great addition to this team. Growing pains will be guaranteed. I do think Paolo is a more polished, more NBA-ready prospect. I do think he is the favorite for a reason. I would probably bet on him for Rookie of the Year, but Chet certainly has upside. Now, looking down this list, after Chet Holmgren, I really have no interest in placing any money on Keegan Murray, on Jabari Smith to win Rookie of the Year, because even though I do like Keegan Murray a lot from what I saw in the Summer League, both these guys are going to be playing in situations where their usage and their shot attempts are far from guaranteed. They're going to be playing off other players, other scoring options, and going to be role guys. And that's just not usually the type of player that wins Rookie of the Year unless someone's going to get hurt. Especially Keegan Murray. The Sacramento Kings have made it clear that they want to win now. They make the Sabonis trade. They totally failed to make the playoffs last season. They still have this roster. They're adding more scorers to the team. Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes is there. You know De'Aaron Fox is running the show. Obviously, Sabonis is the man in the middle. You have scoring options on that team. Keegan Murray is a guy who's going to be like a plug-and-play, stretch four, spacer guy. He can shoot the lights out. How many shots is he really going to get? I could see him possibly ascending into the third guy on this team. He's a rookie, though. Fox and Sabonis are obviously controlling the team, and this team is trying to win now. And on a team that is trying to win now, the focus is not so much on getting the rookies their shots, getting them their reps, building them into star players, especially a team that is not exactly known for player development like the Sacramento Kings. Not to say Keegan Murray can't be a great player, but I just don't think he's in the greatest position to succeed, at least to win Rookie of the Year this year. Same thing kind of goes for Jabari Smith, just because you're playing on a team with 2 scoring guards. I just don't know how much they're really going to want to play through Jabari Smith. He's got tools to be a great player. I think he's going to be more of a defensive-minded player, at least at first, but they're just not put in the same position where their shots are guaranteed. Their team is not necessarily running plays for them, whereas a guy like Paolo Banchero, I think he's definitely the favorite because of that. Jaden Ivey at plus 800. I do think there will be concerns about usage. Again, I'm actually very high on the Detroit Pistons. I think he fits into the Detroit Pistons team like a glove. This guy might have some incredible scoring talent and explosive ability that just needs to be unleashed, and they will see that in training camp. We saw him for 5 minutes in the Summer League, and he looked like the best player on the court. He was amazing. If this guy is really just like another Ja Morant, we will see his talent on display, and I'm not going to act like he has no chance of winning this award. I would bet on Jaden Ivey before I bet on Keegan Murray or Jabari Smith personally to win this award. Now, we have one last name I want to talk about, and that is probably the dark horse. The Pacers project to easily be one of the worst teams in the association, probably bottom 5. Probably they get a shot at Wembanyama in the draft next year. They know that a shot at that guy is more important than trying to win 35 games. The Pacers are just not going to be good next year. Cold hard truth, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And this makes it easier to see a guy like Ben Mathurin getting a lot of minutes, getting a lot of shots. Scoring-minded guard. This is a team that I would anticipate running a lot of 3-guard lineups considering their depth of that position and their lack thereof when it comes to wing players. They really don't have a lot of them. Of course, Tyrese Halliburton is your starting point guard. He's going to be the main guy on this team. And you have other veteran guards, Buddy Hield, TJ McConnell, Lance Stevenson, who might not even be on the roster by the trade deadline. I mean, a lot of these guys, they might not even be on the roster for the start of the season, especially Buddy Hield if he's going to go to a team like the Lakers. So we're hearing. Guys like this at the end of the season, they're probably not going to play that much. You want to play your young guys. The tanking team, Ben Mathurin should be playing 30-plus minutes per game at the end of the year, along with guys like Chris Duarte. Maybe Aaron Nesmith sees some minutes there in the backcourt or at the 3, but they picked this guy, 6th overall, and I could totally see him getting more shots per game than a Keegan Murray, Jabari Smith. Of course, so much of it comes down to how NBA ready these guys are, and that is a question that I'm not exactly sure of because I'm not an expert on these guys, but also it's just hard to know. You watch these guys in college, the college game is not the NBA game. You think a guy might translate and he doesn't, it's because you never saw him get to play in a game like that. So I'm just looking at the system in which these guys play at, the role these guys might have, amount of shots, freedom, and plays their team might draw up for them, how much they want to build around them. I think that is what caters the most to who has a shot at the Rookie of the Year. Of course, it does matter if these guys are ready, if these guys are going to fill their role, live up to the expectations. But I feel like statistics are a thing that if you're on a bad team and you get your shots, you can fill a box score. Even if you're not an amazing player, someone's got to score points for bad teams. And points is most often what it comes down to. Now, looking down this list, there's absolutely no reason to talk about anybody beyond Benedict Mathurin. I mean, if you're going to place money on Johnny Davis to win Rookie of the Year, you might as well be making a FanDuel donation. Dyson Daniels is at plus 3,000. How much can a guy like that play on a team like the New Orleans Pelicans? That's not a team that's just giving away a starting spot. Overall, in the end, Paolo Banchero is the favorite for a reason. I think I'm going to take him to win Rookie of the Year.